Hey guys, my name's Elazar. I am an assistant editor at Serious Eats, and I'm in Bushwick, New York right now to show you something you might not expect. Squeezed between these two buildings is actually New York City's largest outdoor aquaponic farm. So I want to take you inside and introduce you to the amazing woman who's making this all happen.
I am Yemi Amu, and I am a farmer and founder of Oko Farms. Oko in Yoruba, which is the language that I speak, and it's also my ethnic group, is farm. Oko is farm. The organization was named after Orisha Oko. Orisha Oko is the deity of agriculture, so it's kind of like giving homage to my culture. And then in some ways, the literal meaning of the organization is farms. And I really love that because a lot of what we do is create farms. We create growing spaces throughout the city, and hopefully we'll start to work beyond the city, but I like the idea of farming farms. So this is kind of where everything starts. This is where our fish are.
Okay.
On this side I have goldfish and koi. And on this side over here, I have channel catfish, which you can't really see, but you can see some flashes in there to indicate that they're there and they're kind of doing their thing. Because aquaponics is about raising fish, all of the water from this fish tank is pumped out through here and go to the plant beds, which are outside. And then the water that's filtered by the plant beds actually comes back out through there.
So kind of a closed loop.
It's a closed loop cycle. So this is what traditionally the media beds look like. Just big beds filled with these guys. All the water that comes through these beds drains into this bigger bed over here, which is called the deep water bed.
So the water comes into these beds first
and then
drains
drain
off.
into the deep water
Slowly.
beds. Yeah, slowly.
Okay.
So over there we have some things I just put in: peppers, lemongrass, eggplant. This is cilantro that I'm waiting to go to seed. I put some cilantro in the deep water bed, but we have fish in there. I don't know how they ended up in there, but they're in there and they've eaten all the cilantro roots.
Oops.
It's just funny. They love cilantro apparently.
And how do you decide what's going to grow in these beds versus what goes in the water?
Oftentimes we're comparing how things grow in this bed versus water. And other times I just know this plant is going to be really big, it's going to be heavy and falling over. It's just so much easier to have it in the media bed. Like this plant, for instance, sorghum. Last year we grew it in a deep water bed. It was hilarious because I would come in every morning and the plant would be upside down.
After touring Oko, we sat down so I could hear more about Yemi's life and how she got into aquaponic farming.
Aquaponics was introduced to me about, I want to say 10 years ago now, almost. While I was a rooftop farmer at a housing facility in Brooklyn. One of our volunteers came onto the farm and was talking about the system where you could raise fish and plants and water, and I was hooked. It just sounded so cool and futuristic, and then I found out that it actually really isn't futuristic, and it's been done for thousands of years. When I was in middle school and high school in Nigeria, I studied agricultural science. But I didn't really start doing it until I started working as a nutrition educator and working with clients living in low-income neighborhoods. I was really struck by the disparity with access to healthy, fresh food, and I thought farming would just be a great way to bridge that gap. The Brooklyn Economic Development Corporation actually invited us here and wanted to convert this vacant lot into a farm production site. Because there's no access to water in this lot, every farmer that the BDC had approached turned it down. And we were like, are you kidding me? It's perfect for aquaponics. You're reusing water, you're recycling water all the time, so you don't need to water every day. Most people who grow aquaponically grow herbs and leafy greens. And it does have a reputation for being a food production system that can only do leafy greens. I think it's important to show people that you can do a wide variety of crops in aquaponics, especially for people who are using aquaponics to grow food for themselves and their communities. I am a woman who is doing aquaponics and also an immigrant Black woman. So it's a very, it's like this really sliver. Because everyone else is doing their own thing and raising millions of dollars to set up fancy spaces to grow lettuce in. And then we're out here, like on Moore Street in Bushwick. So there can be that like a little bit of a dissonance, but I don't think about it anymore. I just do my work, and I work with and in communities that could really use something like this. We actually just completed an aquaponics build in Bed-Stuy, where the produce and the fish is going to be going to a food pantry. I'm going to be in the Bronx on Wednesday, helping to set up an aquaponics system at a school in the Bronx as part of a summer program. I'm hoping to be able to actually bring aquaponics to Nigeria. It's one of my goals. Nigeria, at least Lagos, as far as I know, I think they've caught the urban farming bug. I follow, because it's 2019, I follow a lot of Nigerian farmers on Instagram. So hydroponics is something that's being introduced now. Aquaculture is a thing, has always been a thing there. To help blend that, I think would be awesome. And to get more young people interested in farming. The average age of a farmer worldwide is about 62. That's crazy, because no one else, there's going to be no one growing our food in a few years, So being able to support the next generation. Nigerian ingredients or Nigerian cuisine to people is something I've become very passionate about, because when I first moved here, I didn't want to have anything to do with anything Nigerian, which is typical for most immigrants. And the older I get, the more I get like, I miss home, I'm nostalgic, I think our food is awesome. One of the things that I'm growing this year, we call it gburé in my language, but it's Ceylon spinach. There's a particular variety of basil that we called efirin in my language, and it's very clove-like. I got the seeds from my mom's garden last year. That's not something you're going to come about easily.
It wouldn't have felt right to leave the farm without trying some of these amazing ingredients, and Yemi offered to make lunch, so who could pass that up? So you are about to teach me how to cook a Nigerian dish.
Yes.
Tell me what this dish is.
So it's a dish made with Nigerian ingredients, because I don't want the Nigerians coming at me.
Okay.
So it's a rice salad. It's
Okay.
a really hot day today, so I thought I would do something cooling. This is rice that we grew on the farm. It's a brown rice.
And so you were telling me earlier that this brown rice is one of several varieties you've grown on the farm.
Yes.
So which one is this?
This variety is called Duborskin. It's a Russian rice. I like growing it because it's frost hardy. So it sort of, allows us to grow later in the season. It's about 100 days or more to grow it. This is gburé in my language, or Ceylon spinach. And it's very similar to purslane. This is efirin, or clove basil, as it's called. It's a really nice basil. It gives like a little kick, unlike the regular Genovese that has that sweetness to it. Nigerians like
a little more
things
sharpness.
Yeah, Nigerians like things with a kick, so we're gonna do that. We have onions because basic for everything.
I think there are a few ingredients other than the vegetables on this table, which
Right.
non-Nigerians might not be familiar with.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
one of those is this.
Yes, this is the red palm oil. It actually is from the palm fruit. It's a rich, nutty flavor.
Will you talk about the spice mixture you've got?
Yeah, so this is called suya spice or yaji spice. Think of like masala spice for Indians or for South Asians. This is our version of that. It's used as a rub. So anywhere in Nigeria you are, people are like selling skewered grilled meats. This is what's going to be used. Yeah, so suya is the name for like the skewered grilled meat, and this is usually the rub that goes with suya.
So when did you learn to cook?
I actually learned to cook after I moved here, and I learned from my dad. He taught me everything I know about cooking. He ate all of the horrible stuff that I made when I first started cooking.
It couldn't have been that bad. We have the rice cooking, it's almost done. Really the only other component of this dish is salad dressing.
The salad dressing,
So what goes into that salad dressing?
So we're gonna do grapeseed oil because it's kind of a neutral oil.
Sure.
We're going to do like a teaspoon of the red palm oil.
Okay.
And then we're going to also add some lemon juice to cut through that richness.
The color on that palm oil
Isn't
is
it
so
beautiful?
incredible. Mm.
Let's add a little salt, and let's add some of that yaji spice while we're at it.
Okay. And the
See
rice
how
looks
beautiful
perfect.
and fluffy.
Yeah, they
this
look like little
rice is.
pearls.
Can we just like take a moment to just take in the fact that this rice was grown like right here and processed by my hands?
Honestly, go Yemi.
All right, so should we add our rice to our
We
greens?
should.
Let's, yeah, get it all in there. Look at how pretty that is,
It's beautiful.
right? We're just gonna put that there. So should we go for it?
Yeah, we've given up on the idea of 2 plates because this is our farm lunch and we'll live how we want to.
Right, exactly. We're living on the wild side here.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
So good.
That's good.
It's funny because it doesn't look like something I haven't had before, but every ingredient is just like slightly different.
Right.
You know, like the rice is a little chewier, that short grain rice. That palm oil is so nutty and rich.
Rich. And then the
that
lemon cuts
juice.
through it.
It's really just what I needed on this 90-degree day. Yemi, thank you so much for showing me this incredible land and doing what you do in this community. It is such an honor to learn from you and also just to taste the food that you grow every day.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
Thank you for being here and thank you for choosing to highlight this work. This is really cool. And for sharing Nigerian food with me. That's awesome.
Nothing I would rather share.
Thank you. Oh!
Oh, this is so disgusting.